What's up, guys? What's going on? A little old school today, no background. We're just going to sit here and talk. What up, Tex? What's up, Rick? What's up, guys? What's going on? So, I haven't done a lot of Patriots content lately, so let's do some Pats. Let's talk some Patriots since I haven't, excuse me, guys. Since I haven't had the chance to do a lot of Patriot content, let's do that. Let's talk some Patriots. So, what do you guys think so far? I'll wait for you guys. I'll wait for a few people to come up in here. What do you guys think so far? I'll start off with that. I want to get you guys' thoughts, and then I'll give you mine. But what do you think so far? AV says Taekwondo. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I know, man. What's up, lady? What's up, man? What's up? Yeah, that is a bummer. Tyquan Thornton is a bummer. But what do you guys think, man? Are you concerned? Are you what do you think? What do you guys I'll get you guys as I want to kind of get the what you guys think so before we get going. And then I'll give you my thoughts. But I'm curious to know how you guys feel about the season. Collarbone, lady. Collarbone. He injured his collarbone. Yeah, he hurt his collarbone. At least it's not the whole season, though. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We'll at least get to see him on a football field this year, that's a plus. Well, I'll take that. I'll take that. Well, like I said, before we get going, I want to get you guys I kind of want to get what you guys think about the how the Patriots have looked, and then I'll give you mine. But we'll wait for a few more people. 5 people in the house. Appreciate that. Like I told you guys, I haven't done a lot of Patriots content outside of that preseason game. So let's talk some Pats tonight. Let's talk some Patriots. Hey Jeffrey, how you doing, man? Me too, man. I am too. I'm definitely excited to see what Max got this year. This is gonna be a big step for him. Let's see how he looks in year 2 after they have a year of tape on him and these defensive coordinators can get a look at him after year 1. So this is a big year for him. If he can continue to succeed, that's a good step for us. That's a good sign for us. That's a good step forward for the organization. But what do you think? Any concerns on either side of the ball? I'm more than interested to hear what you guys have to say about the team and what you think they're going to do this year and how they're going to be. What do y'all think? Do we get to 10 wins like last year, or is that a no-go? Yeah, I'm going to be watching the game on Friday night too. I'll be streaming that game. But yeah, this I think there's a lot of potential this year for this team. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot. Well, if things go well, it's their ceiling I think is very, very high. I think it's definitely going to be a good year for them. There's a lot of concern. I know there's a lot of concern swirling around right now about the kind of new offensive scheme that they're trying to run. They're they're integrating a whole new kind of deal, a whole new offensive kind of philosophy into their system, which is definitely something new for them. That kind of West Coast run and gun offense has never kind of been their style. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they integrate that into what they already have. And I think that's what a lot of the worry is now, is that the offense isn't going to be able to produce. I've been hearing that a lot. And I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I think the offense is going to definitely be able to produce. I think the offense is definitely going to be able to put points up and produce. My only concern on the offensive side of the football is going to be that offensive line. This is one of the, excuse me guys, sorry. This is one of the weakest offensive lines they've had in a long time. This is one of the weakest offensive line in a long time. What's up, Tex? What's going on, man? Yeah, this is one of the weakest offensive lines they've had in a while. And they're definitely going to have to work some stuff. You know, they may have to pick up a guy or two in the middle of the season, because I don't know. I have my question. It's not so much doubts. I mean, Bill's very good at piecing together an O-line. I would just say it's definitely a concern how they're going to handle that, because if you can't protect Mac Jones, not much is going to get done. And that goes for the running game as well. If you don't have a solid offensive line, you're not going to be able to run the football either. And last year this team greatly depended on the run. And if they can't do that, then they're going to be in trouble. They're big, Tex. They're in their 300s, but it's just they're not that good. The line is big. It's just they're just not that good. It's weak talent wise, not size wise. Yeah, it's weak talent wise, not size wise. But I would say on the offensive side of the ball, I think they're going to be able to put it together. I don't foresee them having issues with the receivers. I think they brought a lot of depth. Sorry guys, cat hair just floating around in my apartment apparently. They brought in some depth pieces for the receiver core. I do like how they handled that in the offseason. The drafting was good. The guys that they picked up. The running back room is obviously very, very deep, which is going to be that's going to be really interesting to see who makes it out of that running back group. Because they're 5 or 6 deep in that talent pool there. So it's definitely going to be really interesting to see who makes it there. Pierre Strong had a nice showing. He had a nice showing before, but here's my one gripe with him. My one gripe with Pierre Strong would be that and we saw it in one of the preseason games, is that he's not very good on pass pro. Or at least he hasn't shown to be very good at the pass protection. He missed on like 2 or 3 blocks for pass pro. And you don't want to see that in a running back. If you do that as a running back, you're not going to play a lot. You're not going to see a lot of the playing field in a Bill Belichick offense. If you miss blocks and pass protection, it doesn't matter if you're an offensive lineman or a running back. Bill's not going to like that. Bill's not going to like that at all. So that might be one of the factors that puts him on the outside looking in when it comes to making this team. Because there's quite a few guys that are on the bubble for making it, but I think he's one of them. And if he doesn't improve in that aspect of his game, he probably won't make the team. Because the rest of his skill set is good. The Patriots could definitely use what he brings to the table. JJ Taylor again is very similar to Pierre Strong, and and he's very similar to uh, JJ Taylor, and if I think Bill had a choice, he may pick Taylor because JJ Taylor is very good in pass pro. He's proven it on the field. You've seen him make some really good blocks in pass protection. He made one last game that basically saved Mac from getting eaten alive. It was a great pickup, a great blitz pickup. And Bill likes to see that stuff. That's because that's knowing where you need to be at the right time and knowing your job. Knowing your job and knowing what you're supposed to do on a certain play. That's a football IQ play. And when you make those, Bill likes to see that. So that might leave him on the outside looking in. I like Taylor a lot, Luke. I hope he makes the team again. I hope JJ Taylor makes the team again. I really do. I think he's versatile. I think he's reliable. I think he can do a lot of things. I don't think he does one thing really, really, excellent, but he does a lot of things really good, So those versatile guys, Bill likes to have around. He just likes, that he can put him in multiple different, positions, not positions, but multiple different plays where he can do different things. He can block, he can run, he can catch. Those guys are valuable to Bill, very valuable. That's why he picked up that kid Montgomery. Was he can play receiver and he can play running back. Bill likes that. That's valuable to him. If you can play more than one position on the field, that's you already have a leg up in the Belichick book, because that's just how he operates. He likes guys like that. One of the things that I have noticed is that Onwenu has not had a good training camp. He hasn't been performing too well at all. He's been struggling through this year. Can he get better? I don't know. Me personally, I think we've kind of seen what Onwenu's ceiling is. That and kind of sticking with the offense here. And going back to the offensive line, Cole Strong looks really good. He has looked very, very good. He has looked very good. He's had a good camp, and I think he's made a good impression on Bill. I think he's made a pretty good impression. Not Strong, excuse me, guys. Strange. I'm sorry, Cole Strange. Cole Strange has made a really good. I think he's made a pretty good impression on Bill. You haven't really. So whenever you don't get your name called for mistakes, that's usually a pretty good impression on Belichick. He's going to notice. He'll notice that. Oh, I haven't yelled at Cole today. That's a good thing. So, but I've watched a good amount of tape from the games, and he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. It wouldn't surprise me if he plays a lot in this final game against the Raiders, just to get those reps up and get him kind of used to what full game speed is going to be like. It wouldn't surprise me if he played a lot. But he looks fine. Cole Strange looks fine. I think one of the biggest questions of this off here, Carlos just said it, is Wynn. I don't know about Isaiah Wynn, man. He took his place again at right tackle. I guess he's back. He's back at practice. They had a red non-contact jersey on him today, but he is back for the first time, I think, in like 2.5 weeks. So he was back practicing. I don't like Isaiah Wynn. I don't. They had very, very high hopes for him, and to me, he's just done nothing but disappoint. He's either hurt or just doesn't live up to has never lived up to that hype that they picked him at. Um, and they what they were hoping him to develop into just it didn't even come close. I don't know. I don't I'm glad he's not left tackle. I'm glad that's Trent Brown's job. Um, because I don't trust Isaiah Wynn at all. If you want my opinion, I don't trust Isaiah Wynn at all. I think I don't know what they could get for him though, Carlos. I really don't. Maybe a third rounder, fourth rounder, probably a fourth. I wouldn't even think third, probably a fourth rounder, something like that. He hasn't been good. There's times that he's been on the field, he hasn't been very good. So, um, I think he's declined a lot, if you want my opinion. But like people are already raising they're already raising the alarm bells. People are already raising the alarm bells and stuff like that. You got to remember, Belichick treats these seasons like the first month of the season as an experiment. He's still kind of tinkering the first 4 games of the year. We don't really see what the team's truly going to look like until like week 5 or 6. Do I have any concerns about the secondary? Not really. I know they're not great. I know Malcolm Butler got hurt, and I think there was one other person I forget off the top of my head. I think they had a couple of injuries. I'm not overly concerned. I think they'll make it work on the back end. I want to see one thing that we were very inconsistent with last year was the linebackers and the front four. We need to get better at that. That defensive line needs to play more consistent. They can't they can't play like world beaters one game and then not show up the next. We got to get more consistency out of them. And the middle of the field is my biggest concern. How are those linebackers going to treat that middle of the field? Because last year we got torched in the middle of the field. That is probably one of my biggest areas that I want to see how it's going to look. So far, it hasn't looked too bad. But then again, we'll see when when the ones for both sides are on the field. We'll see how that looks. That's probably the linebacker play is my biggest concern because a lot of those guys are coming in. They're either first year or they're first or second year, or they're new to the system coming in from Bill, bringing them in from different teams. It's if they can improve in the middle of the field, they'll be all right. Because I do think they're going to be solid on defense. I don't know if they'll be top 8, but I do think they'll be top 12, top 15. That's the other. So Luke, they did get a lot of that's one thing Bill, I think, wanted to do was go out and get a lot of speed in the offseason. Pierre Strong, fast, shifty kid. Tyquan Thornton, fast, shifty kid. The kid Montgomery is a shifty, fast, quick receiver. They definitely did focus on the speed. They knew they had to get faster. And they had to get younger in a lot of different areas, both offensively and defensively. And I think they did. It's a freaking shame that Tyquan Thornton's going to miss 6 weeks, I think. Because he was having a hell of a camp. He was really having a hell of a camp. That one of the kids that surprised the hell out of me was that LeJordan Humphrey kid. Humphrey kid is going to make the team. I guarantee it. I guarantee he he's going to make the team. Yeah, he does need to put a little bit of weight on Luke. He's a little he's a little frail. Uh they definitely do got to put a little bit of muscle mass on him. They definitely do. That's a fact. He is a little bit light. He's a little on the lighter side. But you could tell they were focused on getting younger and getting faster. And I think they did a pretty good job of it. Yeah, I like it. I like the kid, Luke. Like I said, Bill likes versatility. He's made it a point throughout his career that he likes versatility. He likes seeing that. If a player can do more than one thing and play more than one position, it's a draw to him because that means he can use that player to fill one or two or three, three spots on, three spots on the field if need be. So those guys have always been high priority to Bill Belichick. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if he makes the team. It really wouldn't. I do like that other kid, Harris, not Damian Harris, the other Harris kid they got for the running back. This is another thing, too. This running back room is very deep. It's very deep. And Montgomery can play running back, too. So it's like they did a pretty good job in the offseason. They did a pretty good job of going out and getting what they needed. I mean, to just for the offensive side, it's that right side. It's that out. Oh, it's around that right edge, that right end. Isaiah Wynn is a weak tackle. He's weak. He's not that good at playing a tackle position. His feet are too slow, and I don't know. I don't think he was ever meant to be a tackle. He's built to be a guard. I never understood them putting him at tackle. I think they were just trying to get him to play tackle and it didn't work. That's kind of my thoughts. He's not a tackle. He just isn't. You watch him, he doesn't have the footwork to be one, and he's just not. They've tried this experiment, and it wouldn't surprise me if by the trade deadline he's gone. It wouldn't surprise me if he's not on the team all year. I do so that's probably, the offensive line on that right side, not the left side, the right side. The right side's going to be the right side's going to be a problem if they don't sort that out. Or the right end, the right edge, excuse me, around the edge on the right side. That's probably their biggest concern there. Defensively, like I said earlier, I think I personally think it's the middle of the field. If they can secure that middle of the field and get those linebackers to get the linebackers more aware in coverage, and just because we were eaten alive in the middle of the field last year. These teams with good tight ends absolutely ate us alive in the middle of the field. They couldn't cover. The linebackers last year were too slow. Hightower is one of my all-time favorite linebackers for the Patriots, and they needed young blood in there. Somebody younger, somebody without the injury history that he had. His body just broke down on him. And you know what? He was been in the league for a while, and it is what it is. He just can't play no more, man. I just don't think he can do it. I don't think he can do it anymore. He doesn't have the speed and he's not what he used to be. And I think that clock on his career has run out, if you want my opinion. I think Bentley will probably start in the middle, and they'll work in the other young linebackers they got. Uche and I think it's Uche, Wilson, and McMillan, I want to say. But they'll work them guys in there, and that's my biggest concern on the D. Not so much the back end or the guys up front, because I think Barmore is going to have a hell of a year. I think he's going to be ridiculous. I think that defensive line will improve. My concerns lie in the middle of the field. Any team with a good tight end last year absolutely ate us up, and they knew it. We couldn't defend the middle of the field. Mac too. I went to a couple of the. Let's talk about him for a second, or for a few minutes here. Mac looks great. Mac looks great. He looks like he come on, camera. Come on. What are you doing? Come on, man. Work with me here. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing down there? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Come here. Come here. I know. I know. Hi. Hi. Hey. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi. I know what. You want to scratch? Hey, there you go. There you go. You good? All right, we're good. We're good. So, I don't think we're going to have any issues there. It's just a matter of them straightening the linebacker room out. That's it. Come on, get away from the cords. Enough. Get. Come on, get. But that's something that I do think. A lot of the Patriots quote unquote issues, I do think will be ironed out by about week 4 to 6. I think they're going to be just fine. I think they're going to at least get back to where they were last year, which is 10-7. That's kind of the low for that. I do think they'll be able to at least do that. At least do the 10-7. Their schedule is tough this year, though. I will give them that. Their schedule is tough. Diesel, come on, man. Come on. But what do you guys got? I want to hear from you guys. What's your concerns? The O-line on that right side for me, and the middle of the field, the linebackers are my two biggest concerns. What do you guys got? Zappy did, yes. That's another thing too. That Zappy kid, I liked the attitude that he had. I did. I liked the attitude that he had. I like that he had no fear. I like that he had that short, he threw that pick and he had the short memory and just went right back in there and went right back to work. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Having a short memory like that the kid can just get up and go back to work and go about his business, which is a good thing. You got to have a short memory. You can't just dwell on all that stuff, all that stuff. You can't. It's it does no good to do that. What's up, dude? What up, Pat? What's up? It does no good to do that, to dwell. You got to be able to move on and just push forward. It's 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 going to be tough, Luke. It definitely is. Their schedule is hard this year, man. Their schedule is definitely not easy. They got a rough go. I do think they can at least get back to 10 wins, though. I do that. I do think that they can do that. They'll at least be able to do that, at least in my eyes. I think 10-7 is doable again. That's what they ended up as last year. I think that's very doable. It's tough. But yeah, that's what I think. I think 10-7 is definitely doable. I feel pretty good, Pat. I feel pretty good. That's what they were last year. 10-7 is what they were last year. I think they can at least get back to that point. At least get back there. And like I said earlier, the stuff that's the everybody's saying that the offense is going to struggle and all this and that. This is the first time in a long, probably 20 or 22 years they've tried to integrate a new kind of style into their format, their offensive format that they run. It's and something like that doesn't happen overnight. Something like that doesn't happen overnight. They're integrating kind of this West Coast run and gun stuff, like kind of like what Mac ran in college, into the Patriots system, where they spread things out and they kind of let him, they let him survey the field a little, so it's a little easier for him to survey the field and see things a little better. But and they take a lot, and they're throwing a lot more. They're throwing like a lot more deeper passes than they normally would. So it's a new style for them. So they're trying to blend the two together. And I just don't think stuff like that happens overnight. I mean, technically the offense is run by three people. It's Joe Judge, Matt Patricia, and Bill Belichick. They're the ones that, they all three, they communicate, and that's how they run the offense. And that's another thing too, that I don't know how they're going to work that, but they'll come up with some sort of a system to where, to how that's going to work, because they don't technically have an offensive coordinator. They don't named a coordinator. But I know the three of them are kind of working together on running the offense. That's what's going to be interesting to me, because if you look on the sidelines and I'm going to be looking to see who's got the offensive play sheet. Is it Bill? Is it Judge? Is it Patricia? Because that's who's technically going to be the coordinator. It's who's barking orders into Mac's helmet. That's the coordinator. So it'll be interesting to see how it runs. It does ultimately, you're right, Luke. It does ultimately run through Bill. That's just a lot of communication to have to go through for one, during a game when Bill's trying to do all the other stuff as well. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of moving parts this year for them. A lot of moving parts. And I know the Patriots like to keep things simple. So that's kind of a little bit outside of their wheelhouse. They don't usually like to complicate things at all. So that'll be interesting to watch and see how they handle that. But I don't have a lot of, I shouldn't say I don't have too many concerns. A lot of this stuff by week 4, I think, is going to be well ironed out and figured out, and they're going to be headed in the right direction, or headed in the direction that Bill wants them to go in. So that's my thinking. I'm not going to really pass judgment on any of this until week 5, because that's when we're going to see what this team really looks like. What's up, Enzo? What's up, buddy? But that's kind of what I've noticed with them so far. Mac looks, so back to Mac Jones for a second. Mac looks really good. He looks like he toned up and he looks way different, way more in shape than last year. I've been to a couple of the training camps, and he looks like he's in way better shape than he was last year. You could tell he spent a lot of time in the off season and focused a lot of time on that. He looks a lot more in shape, and he looks a lot like more creased. Like he definitely took the time in the off season to do some work. That's for sure. And he looks way more mobile too. He does. He looks way more mobile too. So that's I think that comes with the work that he did in the offseason. He does look really, really good. And he's looked good from the start. So he's definitely not a concern. I do think he'll be fine. I think he's going to have a good year this year. I think he's got that football IQ. He's smart enough to where I'm not really worried about him at all. I think he'll be just fine. Whether the offensive line is sketchy or not, I think he'll be fine. They had a patchwork line last year, and he did fine. What's up, Valhalla? How you doing, bud? But yeah, that's kind of, I think that's kind of everything I wanted to hit on. Yeah, he does, Luke. He shows a lot of heart, man. I'll tell you that. He's got a lot of heart, which is a huge X factor too. You can't really teach that. You either love to play the game and you have a lot of heart and you have a lot of drive to play, or you don't. You're in it for the money and you're in it for nothing else. But you could tell he does. He's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of heart, and he's definitely seems like this is his team this year. It seems like that. This is his team. I think he's embracing that role as the leader for sure. Definitely, definitely. But like I said, this is year 2 for him. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how he does with these defensive coordinators having a year of film to go over on him, and and basically develop a game plan on how to attack what he's good at. So this is a big year for him. This is definitely a big year. Year two for rookie quarterback. Year 2 for quarterbacks is tough. It basically determines how you react to how they react to being, they're being tested now. These defensive coordinators are very good at what they do. They're not in that, they didn't make the pro level for nothing. They're very good at what they do. They're very good at watching tape and dissecting what that quarterback does well and what he doesn't, and attacking what he doesn't. So this year is a big year for him. This is a big kind of statement, prove it year for Mac. Let's see if he can, really cement that he's going to be a part of this team and this league for a while. I think he's got I think all the tools are there for him to do it. I've liked him from the start. He's a football smart kid. He doesn't make a lot of stupid mistakes. He reads the defense as well. Um, and if it's not there, he throws it away and he lives to fight another down, which is what you should do. That's what smart quarterbacks could, do. If it's not there, they don't force it. They throw it away and they just live to fight another down. They'll get them next series. But that's pretty much what I got, guys. I just kind of wanted to come on here and give you my thoughts. What's up, Star? I think he's going to be fine, Valhalla. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I think I think Bill is going to take a lot of these details, a lot of these things that are being written and being scrutinized about the team, I think are going to be well ironed out by week 4. I mean, the media hasn't realized yet that Bill doesn't care about the preseason. He's figuring out the depth chart from the 3 preseason games and the first 2 or 3 regular season games. He's still figuring out the depth chart. He's still tinkering with the offensive line and messing with the offense and seeing what works and what doesn't. So unfortunately, as fans, we're going to have to wait. You're probably, if you haven't learned it already as a Patriot fan, you need to learn it quick. They treat the preseason games in the first month of the season as a tryout. So it's just the way Bill's operated for years since he's been here. He's just operated like that. He figures out the depth chart. He figures out what people are good at and what they're not, and he puts them in the best positions to succeed. No, I don't. I like them. I like the smart play, Rick. I don't know. I don't. That gunslinger stuff gets you. It don't get you much. I mean, there's a lot of gunslinger quarterbacks, and they ain't too good in the NFL. So I'll take my guy who's responsible with the football and makes accurate throws any day of the week. Like, I think Mac Jones is going to have a better year than Trey Lance and Justin Fields. I think Mac is going to have better years than both of those guys. But that's, like I said, guys, that's all I kind of got for you. I just wanted to give you my opinion and kind of hear what you guys had to say. Come on here and hang out with you for a little bit, and just kind of go over some stuff from spring training and what we're looking forward to. So the Raider game, I do think we can beat. I do think we're going to beat them. I think we're going to win that game. I think we'll win 27-17. I think we'll win 27-17. That's my prediction for that Raider game. But we're not going to see any. I mean, Bill's not going to play the starters. Mac probably won't start, and Carr and Devontae Adams won't start that game. They won't. I guarantee they won't. We're not. We're gonna get to see the final. These are the last preseason game is going to be the final depth chart battles that are going on. That's your final chance if you're a bubble player to show that you belong on this team or not. I don't think he's that type of a quarterback, Leedy. He's just not that type of a quarterback. Can he throw the deep ball? Yeah, he can absolutely throw an accurate deep ball, but he's not just some gunslinger. That's not who he is. He's a pocket quarterback that makes accurate throws, and when he needs to make a deep throw, he can make the deep throw. That's just who he is. He's not a gunslinger. It's not who he is. He'd rather spread the offense out and sit back in a pocket and slice you up that way, pick you apart that way over being a gunslinger. It's not the quarterback it's not the way he's built. He's not built to do that. He is not built to do that. But that's all I got for you guys. It's almost 45 minutes here. I just kind of wanted to give you my thoughts and hear what you had to say, Patriots Nation. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and hopefully we'll be back before Friday. If not, I'll definitely see you Friday for the Patriots and Raiders. We will do that game for sure. And I will see you guys then. I'm going to try and get in a Red Sox game before then, but other than that, I'll see you Friday. Thanks again, guys. I got chemo on Thursday, so probably nothing going on Thursday or Friday afternoon. But I'll definitely see you Friday night for the Raiders and Patriots game. We'll be live for that one. That's the final preseason game before the season starts. And like I said, that's going to be your final depth battles for the bubble guys. We're probably Bill already probably knows what the starters are looking like, so we probably we'll probably not see any of them. This is the final depth battle though. These wide receiver 4s and 5s and who's going to be the utility guys. That's what this is about next weekend. So it'll be interesting. I want to see the Humphrey kid make the team. I like that kid a lot. That kid Harris, I like to see him make it. I don't know. Pierre Strong is 50-50 with me. I don't know. I might take that kid Harris over Pierre Strong because they already have JJ Taylor. So, but that's my thoughts. Once again, guys, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Go Pats. And I will see you guys, if not in the next few days, definitely on Friday night. And we will cheer on the Pats as they play their final preseason game. We'll also be going live for the final cuts to take a peek at what the 53-man roster looks like. And outside of that, everybody have a good night. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And we out of here, guys. Have a good one. Go Patriots. And we'll see you next time.